Hey, welcome back to my bench. So this is a Realtone global spanner. Not a scanner, a spanner. And it says it brings you the world. This is a 4-band transistor radio, 15 transistor. It has a lot of dust. You can see. It's been sitting on my dusty shelves for years and years. I'm just going to resurrect this thing, see if it even does anything. I think somebody's been in here tweaking already, and I'll explain why. It's model 2437, 24 solid state devices. It's got 15 diodes, 15 transistors, 8 diodes, and 1 thermistor. Why is a thermistor a solid state? Huh. Maybe they consider that solid state. But anyways, what to say about this thing? It's got a DC in 6 volts, an earphone jack. It's got a battery compartment for 4 C cells, and it has an antenna input that it appears to be missing. It's got a band switch that appears to be all bent and disfigured, and there's a little window there, but it's bent or something, I don't know. Band switch. And it's got a main tuning and fine tuning that doesn't seem to work. It seems like they're glued together maybe. They're supposed to work independently, but they don't. What is this? Volume? No, that's off. I can't read that. It's faded. This is volume. Volume, tone, I believe I read. What does that say? I can barely read it. It's printed on the aluminum. I think that's tone. And this is your AFC, automatic frequency control. And that's an on-off switch. Okay. Now, looking at the back, screws are missing. 1, 2, 3 screws. There's 1 screw holding the whole thing together. The antenna's gone. So I don't know what to expect when I open this up. If somebody's been in here before, monkeying around and screwing with things. Oops, got the screw. No big deal, I got billions of them. So there it is. Let me disconnect this. Oh, it's got a schematic right on. Let me disconnect this back cover here. These wires are eventually going to break anyway, so I might as well just disconnect them. Okay, get rid of this. See, look at the band switch here is all... Why is that? More screws missing. I got 3 screws missing here. Screw missing here, screws missing, screws missing. Somebody's been in here monkeying around. There's only 1 screw holding it all together. Oh, here's my antenna. And this goes to the whip. Switch is working. Pots. So this thing's loaded with germaniums. I don't see... These might be silicon transistors here. Look at these little white ones. They're ceramic body and they're flat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, there's more than that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. These little transistors. What are those? They're just marked 195. Or 183, 185, 183, 185. Huh. Audio outputs are 2SB, what are these? 176s? 175s. There's an unusual transistor here too. What is that? 2SB. 2SB 110. I don't think I've ever seen one of those before. And there's 2 of them there, 3 of them. Anyways, let's get this thing going. Somebody had it out of the case for whatever reason. Let's, yeah, there's screws missing everywhere. Pending there's no broken wires, we should be able to get something working on this. Let's start with putting power to it. Alright, let's give this a try. 6-volt power supply here. We're drawing 20 milliamps, but we're not getting any sound. No sound. No sound. We got 20 milliamps drawed. 40, 30, 40, 30. Why is it changing? 20, 10, 50, 40, 20. So something's working inside there. It's drawing current. We're not getting anything out of the speaker. Let's test the speaker, see what we got. Where is it? Oh, here's a screw. One of our screws. I have a feeling we got broken wires in here because there's so many loose parts floating around. Okay, let's see. Where'd my meter go? Oh. All right. You know what? This is a PNP, probably a PNP radio. Where's my schematic? Let's have a look at this. So tiny. I don't know if you can see that. Let me zoom in. So, looks like everything's PNP. I can't. No, there's some NPN transistors in there. It's about half and half. The audio section's all PNP. The RF section is all NPN. Okay, where's the speaker here? It goes through a transformer, earphone jack. Okay. Let's test. No broken wires here. There's the output. What's this? A test point? Looks like a test point. getting anything on the... Oh, there's a transformer. What am I getting here? I can't read it. 150? Okay, I think I'm going to have to remove this printed circuit board here because there's no way to access any of the speaker connections or anything. I think we got power hooked up, don't we? Yes, turn it on. I'm not getting anything here. Not getting anything. I gotta pull the board out, and there's a hidden screw here underneath the antenna, so I have to fight with that. And let me see, I'll have to disconnect these two capacitors, and then the rest should just lift out, except all these wires. Maybe I should just remove the whole chassis. I think that'd be better. Stand by. Alright, so here's the speaker coil, 8 ohms, and we're going to check it with the ohmmeter. And we are getting, what's my lead resistance here? 0. Okay, so we're getting about an ohm on the voice coil, which is normal. And then here's the output transformer. And I'm getting about an ohm there too, which is normal. The primary side should have a resistance 7.8. Okay. So why do we have no audio? Seems like everything's connected. Let's do some continuity here. Red wire. Red. 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 Red is positive ground, I'm assuming. Let's see here. Yes, positive ground. Blue wire comes here to the yellow. There's continuity in all the secondary circuit. It's drawing current, it's just not getting to the output stages, I guess. Let's try this. Let's check some voltages here. Okay. Getting full 6 volts there. Full 6 volts there. So another problem I see right off the bat here is this tuning. It has the main tuning on the outside, it's coaxial, and then on the inside it's got a fine tuning, and they both turn together, which they're not supposed to. They're supposed to work independently, like this. I think it's just dried up grease. Oh, there we go, see? So we'll have to grease all this so it works better. So I'm not hearing anything out of this speaker whatsoever. I'm wondering if the speaker is dead. So I'm just going to put 6 volts across it and see what kind of noise we get. Absolutely nothing. And it's drawing 2 amps. That speaker's pooched. Okay, let's pull it out. I don't think I have a replacement. This is weird. I've never seen a speaker go like that. That's why I couldn't figure out why the output stage was so silent. You know, the radio's drawing current, you'd think it would make a pop or a click. So let's get this. I know I don't have a speaker this size. It says it's like a 4 by 5 by 3 or something. So I might have to put this on the back shelf until I get a speaker that size. Put it on my parts wanted list. Maybe I can order something, I don't know. So for all purposes, maybe the radio is working and the speaker's dead. Somebody had this apart because they were trying to figure out why the speaker was not working. So everything appears okay. The wires are good. Cone's moving. There's no rubbing. Let's try this again. 6 volts. Nothing there. It's not shorted now. It's open. Open voice coil. Open voice coil. And I don't see any damage to the voice coil wires. Usually if it's burned out you can see it, but there's no reason why this would be burned out. This little radio can't put out that kind of power to burn out a voice coil on a speaker. It's probably just open, probably just crappy workmanship, or there's nothing there. Nothing. Alright, so let's substitute in a bench speaker and see how this works, if it does at all. We've got our power hooked up again. Turn it on. I'm on FM. I think the switch is dirty. FM's working. There's the antenna. Yeah, it's got... Okay, we know that's working. AM. Just just hang on. I think I gotta secure this because this needs to be grounded because there's wires soldered to it and it's not grounded. So I'm gonna put a screw in there to hold that. Just give me a minute. Okay, we're back. Still have something that's loose or seems like medium band's working. Shortwave. They've got something shorting out. I got something shorting out in here. I don't know. It's hard to say. Maybe I gotta put a screw in here just to anchor this. Alright, so I got everything secured now. I don't know if it's picking things up or not. Medium band seem to be working. Let's try AM again. I'm getting anything out of AM. Oh. Something on the end of the band here. Sounds like it's working, but it's not getting those stations. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean this band switch with some contact cleaner and deox it and get this going. I think this might be the source of our problem here. It's because it's got a lot of wires, a lot of switching going on here. So let's do that. Pull this power off, and then we'll flip this over. And I don't know if I can get in there with some sprays. I might have to try it from up here. Let me work on this. Get some spray. There. Okay, let's get some stuff in here. Could have been somebody who's monkeying around with all the alignment too. I don't see anything happening on the IF cans or the coils. Doesn't look like anybody's been adjusting the coils, but you never know about these capacitors. Just work that in until it dries. That should help it. I don't see any broken wires. Okay, let's get some deoxit. Now this is the tricky part, getting it in the right spot. So you don't want to flood this. This wire's in the way. Oops. I think there's 3 wafers. I think I got them all. Let me get this one again. Now I don't know if I got deoxit in all the contacts or not, but I'm just going to go with that for now. I know the cleaning would help. Okay. Let's go this way. Okay. Power. It's trying to work. Seems like my body pretty rough sounding. Wow, is that ever messed up? I don't know. It seems like it's picking up stations on the top end of the band. I'm not getting anything on the lower third, 2/3. Is it bad alignment? Somebody who's monkeying around with a screwdriver? I can try doing an alignment on this and see what it brings back, but then what am I fixing here? Is it just a piece of junk, or is it just something that... Like, how much effort do I want to put into this thing? It needs a speaker already. We're getting good audio on the FM.
So maybe we can get down I don't wanna know.
Good audio on the FM tells me that the audio amplifier is working perfectly. Caps are good. There's a problem in the AM section on the AM bands. FM's working great though. Something tells me, maybe something, I don't know. Some glue here. I don't think that's the problem. We tried gluing down a capacitor. This one looks like it's been added. This is a new capacitor. What's going on here? This is not the same age as these ones. This is something more modern. Somebody did some work here. Let me check this one. This one has an ESR of 0.08 and this one has an ESR of 2.5 ohms. So that one's probably no good, but it's working. Let me go through and try and do an alignment on this. See if I'll hit it with a intermediate frequency tone and we'll see how it's going to pick things up here. I don't see anything going on here and why it wouldn't work. Alright, so I'm feeding it a 455 kilohertz signal, modulated 70% with a 1 kilohertz tone. And I'm at minus 30 dBm right now, feeding it in with an antenna, loop antenna. Turn it up. Let's reduce this a bit. Let's try adjusting some of these. Seems like it's spot on. So why isn't it working? Let me turn down the amplitude. I'm getting a beat frequency here. It's very unstable. Even touching the chassis throws the oscillator off. It's minus 45. Let's try and tweak this one in. That's about as good as it gets. very sensitive to stray capacitance. Alright, so I got the radio tuned to 600. I got my frequency generator tuned to 600. I'm pumping out a strong signal, minus 15 dBm. Let's see if we can find that 600 kilohertz. We're on the AM band, yes. Absolutely nothing. So I'm going to check and make sure I'm on the right band here. What's going on? Got a bad capacitor here? There it is, 600. But something's wrong with this capacitor. I'm pretty sure. Let's take this apart. Alright, so I got all the wires desoldered except for this one ground, which I'll do after I remove the mounting screws. So what we have here is we have the dial string goes around, and this gear, sectored gear here, is independent of this. So let's remove this. Actually, let's take this screw out first. This is locked in there, so this locks it on the shaft. Oh, before I start, I put a couple marks here, one mark here and one mark here on the gear. So that should line me back up. I'm at the end of the band, low end of the band. There's a mark here on the dial that's stamped in the steel, and that looks like the beginning. Okay, so right there, that's marked, so we don't have any confusion when we put it back together. Oh, it's tight. Okay. Well, that fell apart quickly. So we got to take this here, screw out. I hope it's locked in, so I have to get a nut driver on the other end and remove that. Let's hold this, remove this. Oh boy. Okay, so this is going to get tricky here with this dial cord. The dial cord's not really that hard. We just have to get it back in the right spot. Remove this nut and washer. And a little bit of spring tension here. Pull this off long enough so that I can get this off. There we go. Where did that come from? Okay. Let's put this back together. Put a nut back on there just to hold it. This thread locker is not helping. Okay. So now we can remove the capacitor screws. And we have to desolder. The ground connection. Okay, put the radio aside and we'll have a good look at this. Alright, so what I'm looking for is broken connections. And let's lift these up. I want to pull this cover off. That's loose. That's our loose connection right there. Check these other ones. So that's our problem right there, is a loose screw. Let's tighten this down. Is it stripped? What is going on here? Is it broken? This doesn't even... This screw only goes in like 4 or 5 millimeters. The whole thing's turning. This one comes out. This one does not. What is going on here? Why is that spinning like that? I think it's broken. But I should be able to remove it. I can't. This post is broken. There's 4 posts here, plastic posts, and they go up from the bottom, from the base, and everything's mounted on these, like these plates are put over top of these posts, and the insulating plates and the... But this one's broken. And I can't make that electrical connection unless it's tight. It's not tight, it's loose. Yes. So you know what I'm going to need to do? I'm going to need to remove this screw. And I'm going to need to drill a hole through the middle of this thing all the way and put in a small screw to hold it all together, but it has to be insulated. I can't get this screw out. It just spins. because that post is broken and it's just spinning in that sleeve. Let me try taking this one out. To remember how to put this back together, eh? Don't forget. This one apart. And this one apart. Now that should pull off. Screw up the alignment of this. This post is broken. So I'm going to need to get some sleeving, some kind of sleeving to put in there to insulate the screw from the plates. And then I'll have to find a screw. I'll have to drill a hole to allow the screw to penetrate through. This is flush with the steel, I think. So I don't know if I can put a screw head there. Let me look at this in detail. Alright, so we're making progress here. We found out that this post is broken, which prevents that screw from clamping down on these plates, which prevents this electrical connection from happening as a reliable. This one, oops, don't lose on crap. This is annoying because this is all stacked washers, and put that washer back in. I want this to all stay together. Otherwise I'm going to be resorting capacitor plates, which I don't want to do. See, even this one's moving out of position. Come on. But my plan is, I got a screw, a thin screw, and it's a flathead screw, which is bonus. I'm going to drill a hole from the back side here. We're going to put this screw in, and this is going to clamp this corner of the capacitor back together again. It's just barely long enough to protrude, and I have a little nut to go on it. And it's going to be just right, and I'm going to insulate with a sleeve of heat shrink just to make sure that there's no shorts. So let's get a bit here for this. I think this is like an M1.2 or something. I don't know what size this is, but let's find a screw. It's a 1. What size is this thing? It's M1.9. Anyways, we need a 1.9 millimeters. Let's see if we can find something here. Alright, what about this one? .5. .7. .71. One more size up. 1.8. That should work. 1.8. Okay, let's drill a hole. Where is it? This one. And try and get it centered as possible. Look at how bent that bit is. What the hell am I going to do with this thing? That's okay, it's going good. A little bit off. Getting there. Haven't broke through yet. There we go. Okay. Perfect. This will. This will work. Okay, I need to bevel the edge here so that this sits flush. And I'll need a bigger bit for that. What size do I need for that? Something like this, eh? I think that'll do the business. Okay, let's put this back together. Okay, before I assemble it, let me put these screws back in just to hold everything together tight. Because I don't want things to go out of alignment here. Put this screw back in. This screw back in. We have to line these up properly so the cover fits. This one. Now I want this to line up before, okay. We are missing one washer in there. Pull this out, put that washer back in. There. Okay. I think we're done. You just got to put the nut on. What was that? Oh, that was the old one. Okay. I just don't know if this is insulated from the plates, so I'm going to check this with a continuity tester. That's insulated from that. That's insulated. And that's insulated. Okay, so we're good. Torque it down. These two sets of plates are for the AM bands, and these two sets of plates are for the FM band. They're smaller, they have a lower capacitance for higher frequencies. So let's get this aligned. That goes there, and then we can torque this down and reinstall. I don't want to go too tight. I don't want to bust anything. This will split because it's tapered. If I torque too much on it, it'll split that end right out. That's nice and tight now. Everything's nice and tight. Everything's good. Let's test one more time for just to make sure. That's good. That's good. That's insulated, insulated. Good. Insulated from each other. Perfect. Now this goes on like this. I could glue that, I guess. It It was glued. Somebody had it apart, I think. This screw is almost stripped out. Okay, I reinstall that and we'll get back to business. Okay, now that the capacitor is out, I think this is a perfect opportunity to lubricate this because this needs lubrication. It's not working properly. So let's take off this dial string. It doesn't look very complicated. It's looped through here. It's got 2 turns. Looks like it's got 1 turn on here. No, maybe it's 2 turns. 1 full turn on there, or a turn and a half, let's say. So let's just take this off. Maybe we can leave it all intact and just... Maybe we can do it that way. Let's take this C-clip off. And this should just pull right off. Yeah, look how the grease on there is so sticky. Let's clean this with something. What do we got here? Does this stuff work? I'm just using some vintage stuff I found in a corner somewhere. It seems to work for grease. I don't know. It is a good contact cleaner. You probably can't buy it anymore. It's probably illegal. But I think we don't need too much here. We just need to get rid of all this old grease. I think that's good. New grease. I bought this on AliExpress a while ago and I've been using it. I think it's just about gone and I think it's good. I like it. It's a white kind of a it says it's synthetic and it works really well. Just got to be careful, don't stab yourself, don't stick yourself with a needle. Oh yeah, that's much better. Much better. All right, restringing. I can't remember, did it go? Which way did it go? Did it go this way? Two wraps. There's 2 wraps. Why is this out? I might have to go back and review the videotape here because I think I forgot how this goes on. Let's see, let's try this first. Let's try this. It looks like we might be winning. Now, I got it backwards. Okay, let's undo that. Can only go one of two ways. Let's go this way. Two wraps. There we go. Okay. Let's get in our tuning capacitor. Which way did it go? It went this way. Because this ground's up top and this ground is at the bottom, so it goes in this way. Get a couple screws in there to hold it. Oh, you know what? Before I put this on, so what I want to do is I just want to cover the head of that screw with some black tape just to make sure it doesn't ground. Now that screw is already insulated from the electrical contacts, but I just want to make sure that there's no chance that anything can happen once it's assembled. So I'm just going to get a piece of black tape here to put over the screw head. Actually, you could have probably countersunk that a little bit more, but whatever. So now we can assemble. Get my fingers in there. Let's torque these down. Get this under here first. Okay. Now, let's raise this up and get that tightened down. Where's my screwdrivers? Just put they're loose for now until I get everything aligned. I still have to put a washer back in here because I lost a washer. Let's pull a nut off. Washer's back on. Okay. Lock washer, nut. Let's see if we can get this thing aligned. So there's our end. Line up our two marks. And tighten it down. It's full range. If I go back to the beginning, I should have my marks lined up. Yes, they are. Okay. Let's finish torquing this down. If I can get a big screwdriver here, I can. Okay, nice and tight. Everything's working except we have one string here is off. Okay, and this one's off. Can't get in there. There we go. Nope. And this wire is so short. It doesn't reach. Alright, let's power it up, see how she works. I have a feeling we're winning. I think we're winning. Let's do this like this. Okay. The power. FM. AM. Okay, so let's see if we can tune in some AM here. Still got nothing. Why isn't this thing working?
First technology into
Okay, I'm still stumped why this isn't working, and I have a good idea. I think I know why. From what I can tell, this plate here is not grounded. I can't find a ground connection between the circuitry and the plate itself. Like, it's positive ground, so if I trace the wires from positive, this is my positive ground here, and This is the chassis. So let's measure. And I got 1.4K. I happen to think that that's wrong. I think there should be a ground wire here somewhere to tie this at ground potential. And if I look at this schematic, it shows it as, you know, let's see here. This thick line here is the ground for the entire radio, and it grounds all the capacitors. It grounds, you know, all the tuning capacitors, and it goes into the audio section. I don't see a connection between this plate and this ground, so we're going to put one right now. We're going to solder in a ground wire. If there is a ground there somewhere, maybe it's broken. I can't find. There's wires in here that I can't see. It's just a mess. So let's just strip us some wire here and let's make a ground. Ouch. Scrape this down. That should work. There we go. Okay. We'll tie it right to this there. That is the ground for the audio output transformer. A little bit too long. Okay, try one more time here. Need some power.
Light snow starts to fall after midnight.
Now it's working.
Wind's going to gust to 40 out of the east, a low -8. Wind chill -15 overnight. Periods of light snow mixed with ice pellets tomorrow. Wind still gusting to 40, the high +1. Right now in Edmonton, it's -7. I'm Randy Kidd.
Now it's working.
Randy, welcome back. I'm very excited.
I don't have any more weird.
How are you?
That's where 40% of new cases were picked.
Yeah, there's nothing on shortwave. It's working though, it's picking stuff up.
As usual, you can hear it.
Probably needs an alignment. FM.
Follow us on Facebook.
Okay, let's put this back in the box and see if we can give it a bit of an alignment. Okay, I dug through my stash and I don't have a speaker that is the same size as this, but I did find this. And you know, I thought, oh, this is no good because this is too big and this is too high and it's going to interfere. But I fit it in here like this, and then what I do is I set the PCB board. It just barely fits over the magnet. You can get the wires out of the way. It actually fits right over the magnet. And if I screw the PCB board down, it actually holds the speaker right in place. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some foam tape on the bottom of, or actually on the speaker itself. I just want to see. I don't think it's shorting anything out. That's just it. I think we're good. I was thinking of putting some foam tape around in here just to cushion it, but I don't see it making contact anywhere, except for on the terminals maybe, where I have to bend those down. I put tape over that so that they don't short, because that is right there on the ground contact. So I think I'm going to go with this speaker. Why not? Let's put it in, and we'll see how it sounds with that speaker. That should work. Alright, so I think I got some foam tape here. I'm just going to put a chunk probably right here. Stick it right to the board. If we can get it peeled. What's going on here? Why won't this peel? I'm going to stick one right here. And that'll insulate. And we'll get another one on this side. There, that should hold the speaker down. And I had to hunt up some screws because they were all missing. So let's put the speaker in. And let's try it. I hope these wires are long enough. I never checked. Now you're looking at this speaker and you're saying, well, you're putting a 4 ohm speaker in where there was an 8. Well, it doesn't really matter. There's an output transformer. That little bit of difference in impedance won't make a difference. It'll maybe go a little bit louder, a bit quieter. We don't know yet. So we're going to try this out. And I think I need to put this on. Where's the nut for this? Just put this on loose for now, just so it holds it in place. Okay, until we can get everything else connected. Okay, let's put some screws in. We got all right. We can put this back together. That looks terrible. All right, so we have it back together. The speaker doesn't sound very good, it sounds pretty tinny. But I have 600 kilohertz cycle signal being fed in. I'm going to tune this. There it is. 600 kilohertz. Right there. Now we'll let's go to 1400 kilohertz. Okay, so it's these two. These two are shortwave. This one's AM. I think it's this one. I don't know why it's having such a hard time finding that. That's a hot signal. That's at 14 dBm, or 1.4 volts. Let's get this here. Minus 15 dBm. Antenna. Can't find it.
Cadillac Fairview collected.
Let's try this again. Set for 1400. And I'll set my generator for 1400 kilohertz. And we should be able to find it. These two on the end here is the AM band. There it is. Nice and loud. Let's turn it down. Minus 60. There. Okay. Okay, so a medium band, marine band, whatever they want to call it. I'm going to tune it to 4 megahertz. Set my signal generator to 4 megahertz. Turn up the amplitude. Okay, so it's that one. Let's turn up the volume here. 4 megahertz. I'm not finding it. There it is. Not so far off. It's like very slightly off. Go down to 3 megahertz, test this out. 3 megahertz. I'm getting anything. Oh, there it is. Let's try 10 megahertz. It seems to be about half a megahertz out. So you know what's screwing me up here is this trimmer cap, this fine tuning trimmer cap. You see how it works? It's just continuously cycling cap, and it changes the capacitance by a little bit, and that gives you your fine tuning. But try and get it centered. I don't know if it should be like that or if it should be like that to do the tune-up. Doesn't really matter anyway. This thing's not super accurate. Okay, I think we're done. Let's put it back together. Oh, we need to do something with this. Let's get this connected. Shut this off. Get rid of this antenna. Get rid of the power. So this is our positive here. Let's connect this wire back up. And our negative. Now we need an antenna. Don't know if I have an antenna here. Let's look. Look at this one. This one looks like this is a long one. Quite long. Fits the hole. Look at that. Looks like it was made for it. Perfect. So I'll find a screw and we'll close this up. Okay, well, I'm having trouble finding screws here. I got these two. These two are longer. For example, this screw here is 35 millimeters and it's too short. This one here is 54 millimeters. It's long enough, but it's the wrong thread, believe it or not. I can't thread it in or else it'll get cross-threaded. It does not, the threads do not match. So I'm going to have to go without two screws. But other than that, we're done. We are done. And I think it turned out good. I didn't do any alignment on the FM band, but the AM band's working. And we now have an antenna. So, result. Alright, thanks for watching.